I'm making this video because I'm probably going to be missing quite a bit of streams and content over the course of the rest of this week, but I'm very excited about the reason why. It seems that our prayers have been answered, and Sarah may finally have an answer as to all of the complications she's been having. A bit of backstory: if you don't know, my wife gave birth to our third child in early August, and ever since then she's been dealing with excruciating headaches, feeling like she's going to faint, popping in her head, just all kinds of different concerning things. And we've had lots of brain scans, lots of different tests done, and haven't really come up with an answer as to what's going on yet. But we reached out to a PT to see if there's something going on in the upper vertebrae of her spine, and they gave us an interesting theory that it may be a cerebral spinal fluid leak. And after looking at all of the different evidence in her course so far, there's a lot of very good reason to believe that that is what's going on. I won't get into all of it, partially for Sarah's privacy, but also partially because it would be a long conversation. But the point is, tomorrow evening we're going to be going into the hospital, looking to be admitted, get her an MRI that she already had scheduled, and talking to the neurologist about this, trying to get some tests done, and overall trying to see if this is what's going on, if we can get some treatment for it. Because luckily, if this is what's going on, the treatment would be a spinal tap and something called a blood patch, where they would basically, this is what I'm being told anyway, they basically just inject some of her blood into her own cerebral spinal fluid, and it would patch the leak, and she'd be good from there. So if that is the case, then this is very treatable. It does require a treatment, but it is very treatable and not necessarily neurodegenerative, which is something we've been definitely praying for, because the other alternative is potentially multiple sclerosis. So hopefully we're going to be getting some answers. The reason I'm making this video is because I am going to be very much all hands on deck on this over the course of the rest of this week. So if you don't see much of me, that's where I am. But this is probably going to be the 7th or 8th time we're going back to the hospital. This is the first time we're going back where we actually are pretty confident we know what's going on. We could be wrong. There's definitely a decent chance, maybe 20, 30, 35% chance that we're wrong. I'm not a neurologist, but based on the research I've done, amateur research I've done, it definitely matches very closely with everything. We'll be presenting this to the neurologist, hoping that things line up, that we can get the right testing done, if so treatment, and hopefully she'll be feeling better. So all hands on deck on this. Naturally, we've got 3 kids, so I'm going to be very much here, there, and everywhere, trying to make sure that I'm taking care of her, but also, attending to my duties as their parent. So we'll definitely be off work quite a bit, as you can see. I've been pulling my hair out, not trying to figure out what's going on. No, I'm just kidding. We just got to fix that, right? Show you how chaotic things are right now. But I try and fit a lesson into everything that we do, and one of the main lessons I want to show you guys here is that when we talk about the financial sovereignty way, you got to declare war on chaos. And a form of chaos that enters into our life is, health complications. It's been very chaotic. She's really gone through the ringer on this, and not even including the pain and suffering that she's experienced, has been very disruptive to her life. And so it's very important when something like this happens that you kind of, as much as you can, drop whatever you can and fix it, right? And we've been very adamant trying to find an answer, because the doctors have not put 2 and 2 together. They've done a very good job, but we finally had a doctor say, hey, this might be what it is, and it makes sense. So we've been trying to do our part to figure out what's going on, advocating for her. But for you, when chaos enters your life, deal with it quickly, right? Kill it, as fast as you possibly can. Just absolutely annihilate it. Just kick its butt so you can get back to your life, right? So that's exactly what we're going to do. The only reason we're not going in tonight is because we want to make sure that we have the support in place for being in the hospital for 2, 3, 4 days. So we're going to spend all of the next 24 hours getting ready to go into the hospital for the rest of the week. And so you guys might not be seeing a lot of me, but just know that I'm, out there fighting for my bride, loving on her the best way that I can, and trying to live what I teach, which is, if there's chaos in your life, fix it earnestly, and do whatever you can to put your life on a track of growth towards prosperity and fruitfulness and joy. That's my chief job to her, to my children, and to you guys, is to do whatever I can in God's will to maximize your joy. Sometimes that means correcting someone because they're being fools or they're in sin. Sometimes it means spending the next 4 days in the hospital so my wife can get treatment. It's exactly where I'm going to go, and we'll never apologize for it. For the one of you out there who says, oh my gosh, Dad, where are you? not sorry. Look forward to being back. She looks forward to being back also. Looking forward to having answers, and please be praying for us that, honestly, kind of that's what it is, that our theory is correct, because it would be, in a way, helpful if that was what it was, because it's very treatable. Doesn't seem to have long-term health complications. It just needs to be fixed, right? Like an oil leak is basically the way the doctor described it to us. Is you fix the oil leak so the oil pressure goes back up. So good prognosis, if that's what it is. So be praying for us. Really appreciate it. God's kept us this whole time. We've stayed faithful to him the entire way. Won't stop now. And definitely praying for a blessing. I'll be seeing more of you guys next week, most likely. Peace.